Good morning to all panel members. Aim of my project is dynamic characterization of RPS manipulator. It is a comparative study on dynamic modeling schemes. The objective of this work are to investigate and model the 3-RPS manipulator using the Lagrangian, Newton-Euler and Denoff model. Secondly, for Newton-Euler recursive model is done. Third, comparison is for all the model is done qualitatively and quantitatively, and at last advantages and disadvantages of models are inferred. The literature survey reflects that the Lagrangian and principle of virtual work are the only dominant methods for dynamic modeling. Secondly, Newton-Euler is not developed in a recursive way. And last, no symmetrical split up for Denoff modeling system is done. In order to fulfill this research gap, this project is done. The project consists of 4 stages. First is defining the 3-RPS manipulator using the dimensions and inertia tensor. Second is to develop the dynamic model in Wolfram Mathematica. And after obtaining the torque equation, mass and the centripetal matrices, the inverse kinematics is done to design the numerical simulation. And from the results of numerical simulation, quantitative analysis and qualitative analysis are performed. Before getting into the work, there are some assumptions which this study considers. First is that the joint torque is obtained in a joint space. Second, the loop constraint matrix is assumed constant for a particular trajectory across all 3 models. It's valid because the loop constraint depends on the trajectory, not on the dynamic modeling schemes. This, let us define the 3-RPS model and dimension. 3-RPS manipulator consists of an equilateral triangle-shaped base and mobile platform with the dimensions of G and A respectively. Each leg consists of 2 links, link 1 with the length of 150 mm and link 2 with the length of dl, which is a function of time. All the links have unit masses and the mass of mobile platform is 0.9 kgs. With this, let us define the Lagrangian model. Lagrangian is an energy-based model and is one of the simplest model for dynamic modeling. Scalar Lagrangian is calculated from the total kinetic energy and total potential energy. These energies are calculated from the homogeneous transformation matrices and position analysis. After the Lagrangian is obtained, the mass and the centripetal matrices are derived. These are the results from the Lagrangian model. As the manipulator is having 6 links, the mass and the centripetal matrices are 6 cross 6. The mass matrix is a diagonal matrix which conveys information of inertia, whereas the centripetal matrix speaks about the interaction of the links. We obtain identical equations with only joint variable varying because of the scalar Lagrangian approach. Next model for dynamic simulation is the Newton-Euler model, and this is the novelty of this work. Unlike the vector loop model, this model is recursive. This model consists of 3 stages. First is the forward computation, where we calculate the velocities and acceleration of all links. Second is the backward computation, where we calculate the forces and moments of all links. And connecting the backward computation with the forward computation is the force balance approach. From the backward computation, we obtain the joint torques from which the mass and the centripetal matrices can be derived. Now, what is this force balance approach? This approach adds the effect of the mobile platform on spherical joint, as we all know that the spherical joint will only resist the forces, not the moments. For example, let us consider that due to the acceleration, the forces at the centroid of mobile platform are Fx, Fy, Fz in x, y, and z direction. Now, these forces can be transferred to the joint using the principle of the force transfer of a rigid body. These forces will act as an input for the backward computation. From the Newton-Euler, we get the joint torque for prismatic joints. So from this, we can extract the coefficient of dl1 double dash, dl2 double dash, and dl3 double dash in order to get the mass matrix from which we can derive the centripetal matrix too. The last model developed is the Denoff model, or the decoupled natural orthogonal complement model. This model was developed by Subir Kumar Saha, a professor of IIT Delhi. This model is very compact and efficient. This model is based on the twist, which is the combination of the angular and the linear velocities. From this twist, we can derive the twist propagation matrices and the joint rate propagation vector. Similar to the Newton-Euler, this model also has forward recursion in which we calculate the twist of all individual links, and then we have the backward recursion in which we calculate the torque. From the Denock model, we get the following joint torque for the prismatic joint. From this, similar to Newton-Euler, we can extract the second order coefficients and get the mass and the centripetal matrices. We have all the torque equations, mass and the centripetal matrices from all the three models. In order to compare and contrast them, inverse kinematic has to be done. This work is adopted from the existing algorithm of Zaho 2010. As we all know that RPS is a 3 degree of freedom manipulator. So input will be the translation along the z-axis, rotation about the x-axis and rotation about the y-axis. From this, the spherical joint coordinates will be calculated, and using the distance formula, we can calculate length of each and every individual leg, which will give us the joint variable dl in function of time. For this project, two test cases were designed for the numerical simulation. Test case 1 will only have a translation along the z-axis, whereas the test case 2 will have a translation along the z-axis with the rotation about x and y-axis. For the torque plots of test case 1, as there is only translation about the z, we see a constant torque on all of the legs. Also, an important observation is that the torque by d naught is approximately double as that of Newton-Euler. Now let us have a look at the torque plots of test case 2. To cater the rotation on x and y, the torques are different for all the three legs. The sampling data is shown for 10 seconds and the mean torque for d naught is approximately double as that of the Newton-Euler. The next important plots are the inertial plots. These plots convey information of the inertia of links. As observed, we see that the value from the Newton-Euler and d naught are very close, validating the Newton-Euler model. Also, due to the scalar approach, Lagrangian is deviating. Second important observation is about the prismatic link, whose inertia will be its mass, that is 1 kg. And we see from the second plot that only Newton-Euler and d naught confirms this, overlapping completely while the Lagrangian deviates. So these are the two important observations from the inertial plots. The next important plot for our study is the centripetal plot. As link 1 and 2 are pair exhibiting the Coriolis effect, the forces on this should be equal and opposite. From the plots, only Lagrangian and d naught illustrate this phenomena, whereas the Newton-Euler fails over here. So we can compile the torque, mass and centripetal plots, and we can say that the Newton-Euler and d naught are varying by a constant factor of 2, which can be easily rectified. Secondly, the inertial plot for d naught and Newton-Euler are approximately same. This is in accordance because the d naught equations are obtained by multiplying the Newton-Euler equations by the d naught matrices. However, the Newton-Euler fails to illustrate the Coriolis effect of link, but from this method we can obtain all the forces which are acting on any particular joint. The next important stage are the qualitative inferences, and for this the first stage is to calculate the number of mathematical operations for each and every model. For this, a general formula in terms of number of link was derived, and then n equals to 6 was substituted. We can infer that the Lagrangian is based on derivatives and can be very tedious. Secondly, number of operations are very high for d naught. And last, in Newton-Euler, less derivatives are needed, but we need cross products here. So we can see that the Newton-Euler stands somewhere between the Lagrangian and d naught. Next step for qualitative analysis is the computational time taken, which is very important for any dynamic model. All models were modeled on an HP Pavilion laptop with an Intel i5 and CPU of 2.4 GHz and 16 GB of RAM. From this, we can infer that the Newton-Euler takes maximum time due to the coordinate frame transformation. Secondly, high number of operation reduces time in d naught when compared to the Newton-Euler. And lastly, Lagrangian take least time because it is based on a scalar Lagrangian approach. So to conclude and combine the quantitative and the qualitative inferences, we can say that the Newton-Euler model developed here is somewhere between the Lagrangian and the Denoff model. The main advantage of this model that it is recursive in nature, so it's very easy to model. Secondly, it gives all the forces and moments acting on a joint. Only disadvantage is that it is not able to model the centripetal acceleration. In terms of computational time, it takes high time because of the coordinate frame transformation, but has optimum number of operations when compared to Lagrangian and D. Further work for this project will be to develop the loop constraint equation and calculate the constraint wrenches, and after the above steps, physical simulation and real-time experimentation can be done to confirm the result. Thank you.